Hey, I'm backstage with the Army of Freshmen at their gig in Newcastle on the 9th of December 2011. Can I ask you to introduce yourselves, please?
Yeah, I'm Chris from Army of Freshmen.
I'm Owen.
Brilliant. Now,
We got
how?
that part good.
Yeah,
That was
you got that.
you were
you
brilliant.
you got that part great. Now, how was the trip up to Newcastle been?
Oh, great. This is almost the end of the tour. This is our second to last show. So we actually haven't played in Newcastle since 2008, and this was one of our favorite cities to play. I mean, we loved Newcastle. It was actually one of the first cities that kind of embraced us. So we're excited because we're not sure if anybody's going to remember us here, but we're happy to play here. And the show is actually in the bigger room at the Academy here. Usually this tour's been in the smaller room, so it's always cool to have some room on stage. So
Brilliant. And you said you haven't been back since 2008. Being back in 2011, what's the feeling like?
well, we've been back to the UK a couple times, but not Newcastle. And we had here was the first night of the Get Happy tour with Zebrahead, Bloodhound Gang, and Bowling for Soup. And that was a real special night. It was the first night we ever met Bloodhound Gang and Zebrahead. The first time we ever played with Zebrahead. So this is kind of a special place for us, I think.
Brilliant. What do you think gives your music the edge?
I just feel like we figured out something that works for us, and we get up there and we just enjoy it. It's more about just our ability to express, exactly what we're feeling musically, and be happy with it and content and confident, and it seems to work out. I don't think there's anything particular about our sound that surpasses anything else. I just think that like once you get comfortable as an artist, you just go for it, and then other people can see that you're enjoying yourself on stage, and it speaks a lot.
Have you got anything to add, Chris?
Yeah, everything that he said. I mean, it's about for us having fun, and I think that really comes across. That we really have a good time doing it. We're not reinventing the wheel, but we like to think that we are good at the type of music that we do, and we put on a good show and try and let off a lot of energy.
Brilliant. Now, you started the tour on the 30th of November in Folkestone, and it's due to finish tomorrow. How do you think it's developed so far?
It's been great. I mean, we've had a great time. It's been good playing with Zebrahead. They're a great band. If I was to get critical of it, I would say the only thing is touring in December in the United Kingdom is difficult for a lot of different reasons. Number one, it's extremely cold. We ran into snow in Glasgow. We ran into a windstorm last night. We've got rained on constantly. But number two, it's the end of the year, and people are distracted, and they've sort of spent all their money on gigs. They've been going and going. Everybody comes over here in the fall. So this was sort of one of the last national tours that went out this calendar year in the UK, and you kind of feel that sometimes.
It's
You
like
can
everyone's on holiday for Christmas and shopping at the malls, and so there's less attendance.
Yeah, people are going to malls. People are finishing exams. So it's been great. We've totally enjoyed it. But if there's anything that we could do different, because we've had a great time, and the shows themselves have been really fun. But it's always a bummer when maybe some nights there'd be double the audience if you had just done it 2 months earlier. But no complaints. We're completely happy. But we learned our lesson in terms of, oh man, I think this is one of the only months that we haven't toured in this country. We've been over here 10 times, and we've actually done some show in every single month of the year except December. And I think now we know why.
Fantastic. What would you say then is the most memorable moment of the current tour?
For me, maybe not in one moment, but I really enjoyed the crowd in Leeds. They always seem to be really into it. The crowd in London was a real surprise.
Yeah, that
because
was a treat. That was my night. Was London most definitely.
Yeah, because London's typically a tough audience, too cool for school, and they were just rocking out. We felt like we played a really great show. I mean, it's been really positive. I mean, I'd say the only stinker for us was Glasgow, because we had some extreme sound issues. Every once in a while, things fall apart, and let me tell you, that night, it fell apart. But hey, one rough show out of 13, that's really good. And I would say 5 of the shows were amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So those are pretty good odds,
Fantastic. Now, tell me about how the name Army of Freshmen came about.
Well, it's kind of a joke, actually. I moved to California from New Jersey, where I was born, and I wanted to pretend I had a band. I was like a guy with an acoustic guitar, just, save the world in the key of G shit. And I wanted, when somebody walked by a Starbucks, to see, instead of just Chris J, like Chris J and the Army of Freshmen, because it sounded like a real big name to me. Army of Freshmen sounds like a lot of people. And it sort of snowballed. I met Owen and a bunch of the other guys at a local open mic when I was doing my solo thing, and we just started playing. It was really kind of natural. It wasn't something, I was not looking to start a band, but I found people that I really liked, and it's, of course, a lot more fun playing music with other people than yourself. And eventually, after a couple months, we sort of just threw my name out of it. I threw myself out of the band, and we just called it Army of Freshmen, so.
So what was your impression of each other when you first met?
Wow, that's a great question.
That's a good question. When I met Owen, I thought he was like the coolest guy in the world.
Things changed.
Yeah. And he I remember he had a big old trench coat and like a Hawaiian shirt and like slick back hair. And, sometimes you get the wrong impression of somebody when you first meet him, but I thought Owen was like the ladies' man. Like out of all these guys in Ventura, I just thought he was this huge pimp. But, that was
about your opinion?
Well, I thought Chris was just so political and over the top, and he just had such a quirkiness about him, and he always wore a different hat, and he emulated his favorite singer-songwriter Phil Cody at the time, and everything he did, from his strut to his style.
Yeah, I was a Phil Cody clone.
He was. He's a little clone.
I was sort of whack pack.
But it was cool, man. We just kind of bonded over music and friends and the town, Ventura, California, and yeah, it's great, perfect timing.
It was really timing was sometimes things in your life just happen at the right time, and that was one of those things that you almost feel that there was, something else was in play, because the way we met and how we met and where I went, it's just not natural for all that to fall in place to now fast forward almost 15 years later, and we're talking to you in Newcastle, England, just because we met at a coffee shop.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
From different sides of the country, too.
Yeah, we didn't sound like we grew up
3,000
together.
miles away, so it's pretty neat.
Fantastic. Now, complete the following sentence. Our music has the edge because.
You're looking you're backing up on that one.
Because our music has the edge, because we have the energy of a hardcore punk band, but we write really catchy poppy songs. So we found this place where they can both exist. And, if you like energy and intensity, you get it. But if you like to sing along and have pop, you get it too.
That's an excellent answer. Now, when you're on stage, is there any particular song that gets the adrenaline going?
Oh, well, I'd say by far over the years the most anthemic, intense song with the kids has been "Get 'Em Up."
Yeah.
I don't think there's been one that's beaten it yet. I mean, we have a few songs that do okay, and there's a lot of energy, but I think it's just the sing-along chorus, and
Yeah, I think it's different for the audience and the band. There's songs that pump me up
Yeah.
a lot more on stage, but the audience in particular, we have a song called "Get 'Em Up." It's the simplest song we've ever wrote, and maybe that's the key. You know what I mean? It's just we're up there. I try to write these lyrics and tell stories and have creative, imageries, and just really try and say something. And at the end of the day, people just want to say, "Get 'em up, let's go." Okay,
That's all right.
It's fine.
Now, apart from this current UK tour, what else has been going on for the Army of Freshmen?
Well, it's more gearing up. We're gearing up to write a new record, record a new record next year, and, take opportunities when they present themselves. We're really keen to get over to Germany. We're really keen to get back to the UK, hop on a festival, maybe a bigger support later next year. But our main goal as soon as we get back is to get back to writing and get a new record out. But I think it's going to be a fun year. I'm actually really excited for 2012. I mean, for our 15th year, I think there's a lot of possibilities. And that's cool because, a lot of times the further you go, there's less possibilities. But I kind of feel like next year, even more than the past 2 years, it just feels like there's some more, things in the pipeline,
Brilliant. Now, I noticed back in summer, Chris, you took part in a celebrity softball game.
Wow.
And
Wow,
what
you
made
did
you,
research.
yeah, what made you want to take part in the first place, and how enjoyable did you find it?
But primarily because I'm not a celebrity, and I felt like pretending I was one for an afternoon. I found out I'm very good at impersonating a celebrity. But no, it's fun. I'm a baseball guy. But it sucked because there's some professional baseball players there. And, like, the very first play, I dropped the ball. And there was, like, the one dude that was taking it, like, seriously. And, next inning, I found myself in right field. I'm like, God, it never ends. You know what I mean? 15 years later from school, and I'm getting booted to right field again by some jock, you know?
But do you think, again, that although you don't describe yourself as a celebrity, that still gave your band a little bit more acknowledgement?
Well, no, just because where this was in the middle of nowhere. You know what I mean? So I mean, I would say if it was like in Los Angeles or New York City and you're there with Angelina Jolie and shit, awesome. But I was sort of there with.
Depends on the celebrity.
Yeah, I would say
You're
the
there.
celebrities that we were working with were a little more B level, you know, and I was like F level, you know. So.